Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. So, I'm Thamayim, and today I'd like to go into hell doctrine and Hades and how it's just all Greek mythology. So, starting out, I've got this Wikipedia page pulled up on the Greek underworld. In mythology, the Greek underworld is an other world where souls go after death. The original Greek idea of afterlife is that at the moment of death, the soul is separated from the corpse, taking on the shape of the former person, and is transported to the entrance of the underworld. Good people and bad people would then separate. The underworld itself, referred to as Hades after its patron god, is described as being either at the outer bounds of the ocean or beneath the depths or ends of the earth. It is considered the dark counterpart to the brightness of Mount Olympus, with the kingdom of the dead corresponding to the kingdom of the gods. The underworld is a realm invisible to the living, made solely for the dead. And so you've got to ask yourself, what does this sound like? It sounds exactly like the Christian idea of hell, where you go underground to this place that's torment and fire, and there's a ruler of it, which in this case it's called Hades, but the Christians like to refer to it as the devil. And it's exactly what they're believing in. The word Hades is actually in the New Testament for hell, but they've got it all mistaken because the scriptures refer to regeneration of the soul. So after you die, you go up to heaven and you get your judgment from the Most High, and then you come back down to earth and you serve out your judgment. And Lord willing, we'll get into that when we get into the scriptures. But first, let's take a look at Hades. So in the ancient Greek religion and myth is the god of the dead and the king of the underworld, with which his name became synonymous. So both the god of the dead, little g, Hades, and the actual place, which, it's not really a place. It's all just a cunningly devised fable. But that place is called Hades as well. Hades was the eldest son of Kronos and Rhea, although this also made him the last son to be regurgitated by his father. He and his brothers Zeus and Poseidon defeated their father's generation of gods, the Titans, and claimed rulership over the cosmos. Hades received the underworld, Zeus the sky, and Poseidon the sea, with the solid earth along the province of Gaia. And Gaia is where you get the idea of Mother Earth. Available to all three concurrently. In artistic depictions, Hades is typically portrayed holding a bident. And that's like a trident, but with two parts instead of three, like a trident. And wearing his helm with Cerberus, the three-headed guard dog of the underworld, standing to his side. And here's a picture of him. It says Hades Serapis. So you see him with the pot head, and I guess those two are synonymous as well. And Serapis is where we get some of the old pictures of, in quotation marks, Jesus. And that's who Ptolemy created in Egypt for people to worship. The Etruscan god Aita and the Roman gods Dispater and Orcus were eventually taken as equivalent to Hades and merged into Pluto, a Latinization of Pluton, itself a euphemistic title often given to Hades. The origin of Hades' name is uncertain, but has generally been seen as meaning the unseen one since antiquity. An extensive section of Plato's dialogue, Cratylus, is devoted to the etymology of the god's name, in which Socrates is arguing for a folk etymology, not from unseen, but from his knowledge of all noble things. Modern linguists have proposed the Proto-Greek form Aides, or unseen. The earliest attested form is Ades, which lacks the proposed digamma. Martin Litchfield West argues it's instead for an original meaning of the one who presides over meeting up from the universality of death. Let's go down to the mythology. In Greek mythology, Hades, the god of the Greek underworld, was the firstborn son of the Titans Kronos and Rhea. He had 3 older sisters, Hestia, Demeter, and Hera, as well as a younger brother, Poseidon, all of whom had been swallowed whole by their father as soon as they were born. Zeus was the youngest child, and through the machinations of their mother, Rhea, he was the only one that had escaped this fate. Upon reaching adulthood, Zeus managed to force his father to disgorge his siblings. After their release, the 6 younger gods, along with allies they managed to gather, challenged the elder gods for the power in the Titanomachy, a divine war. The war lasted for 10 years and ended with the victory of the younger gods. Following their victory, according to a single famous passage in the Iliad, Hades and his 2 brothers, Poseidon and Zeus, drew lots for realms to rule. Zeus received the sky, Poseidon received the seas, Hades received the underworld, the unseen realm to which the souls of the dead go upon leaving the world, as well as any and all things beneath the earth. Some myths suggest that Hades was dissatisfied with his turnout, but had no choice and moved to his new realm. So, as you can see, this is the mythology behind Hades and hell doctrine, and the Christians have melded the two together. They put their Hades doctrine, which they call hell, into their Christian doctrine and try to back it up with the scriptures, but the scriptures actually speak otherwise. So let's start out with Revelation 2:20 and 14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And so you've got to ask yourself, how can hell be cast into a lake of fire? So this lake of fire is referring to the destruction that's coming through ICBMs. And so you've got this fire destruction, which is the second death. The first death was the deluge, or the flood, that the Most High flooded the earth in the time of Noah. And so let's take a look at the word hell here. It's Strong's G 86, Hades. And you can see they're going off here. Name Hades or Pluto, the god of the lower regions. So that's all Greek mythology. Orcus, the netherworld, the realm of the dead. That's mythology. Later use of this word is the grave, death, hell. And that's a little bit closer because when you do see hell in the scriptures, it's either referring to the grave or your earthly predicament, the situation that you're in on the earth. So you can think of, let's go to Jonah 2:2. And said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice. Actually, let's start back up at 1, Jonah 2:1. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord Yahweh, his power, out of the fish's belly. So Jonah was in a fish's belly, and it's called hell, which, as you can see, is no fiery, burning place inside of a fish's belly. That, again, hell within Christian doctrine is just Greek mythology. Hopefully that shows it a little more. I'm going to jump to Matthew 10:28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And this hell is your earthly predicament. Because imagine you could have be in all sorts of situations here on earth. You could have no legs and arms. You could be in slavery. That's hell. You could be in mental hells with having some kind of being in depression or having any plague of the mind. You could have people close to you die, and that can put you into hell. Or there's countless situations that could be referred to as hell. So it says, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And that's how the Lord carries out judgment. He carries it out here on the earth within your situation, whichever situation you might be in, if it's not a good one. So let's move on. Matthew 19:28. And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. As you see, the scriptures deal with regeneration or reincarnation, because that's just what it is. It's just not, you don't go to this place and stay there forever. That's a method of control delved out by the Catholic Church, and it is false doctrine. I'm going to go further into regeneration or reincarnation. Ecclesiastes 12:7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. From dust you are, and to dust you will return. It says, as said in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Esau has lied about hell and what it is, and how judgment is carried out unto the earth. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 3:20. All go unto one place. All are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and you go upward to receive your judgment, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth. As you see, you don't go down into, or as a man, as a human, you don't go down into the earth to receive your judgment. You go upward to the Most High, and that's where you receive your judgment. Ecclesiastes 3:16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. Which place is under the sun? Where there's life. That would be the earth. The earth is under the sun, and that is the place of judgment. He saw that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. An example of going upward here. Let's just jump to it in Job. The 3rd chapter, Job speaks of it. We're going to start here at Job 3:11. Why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? He's asking why he wasn't a stillborn, because he got put into an earthly predicament through the Most High and Satan's bet that they had with one another. And Job was tormented here on the earth, the place of judgment. Moving down, let's see. We'll go to 13. For now I should have lain still and been quiet. I should have slept. Then had I been at rest, and sleeping as in dying. With kings and counselors of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves, or with princes that had gold, who filled their houses with silver. Or as in hidden untimely birth, I had not been as infants which never saw light. Again, as a stillborn. Here's the point in 17. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. So both the wicked and the just, everybody goes to the same place. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. They don't have Esau or the other heathens bothering them, because everyone is in order there. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master. So everyone goes to the same place. There's no separation between good and evil, and the good go to heaven and the evil go to hell, because hell doesn't exist. You're reincarnated. You go up to the Father. You go through your life and judgment. You're told your judgment, and you come back to the earth and you serve it out in whichever way, good or bad, that the Lord chooses. So with that, I hope this served to help you see that regeneration is scriptural, and hell doctrine is actually a false doctrine. And Lord willing, this helps to end some of these Christian lies. It helps to expose Esau and the liar that he is. And Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel.